Hi everyone, I'm Merrill Reese, voice of the Philadelphia Eagles, and welcome to Old School All-22, an opportunity to look at a historic game, a play that I'm sure you remember, and we look at it from a vantage point of all 22 players. And joining me once again is my color analyst in the booth, and my good friend, Mike Quick. And Mike, this is against the New York Jets, surprisingly, the one team that the Eagles have never lost to in a regular season game.
Yeah, and since the Eagles are seeing the Jets this week, we want to look at a classic play going back Eagles versus the Jets. And you all remember the pick six by Eric Allen, but we're going to go a couple of years later to a classic play, a touchdown by Ty Detmer, of all people, to Chris T. Jones. With New York leading by a score of 20-7, quarterback Ty Detmer drove the Eagles inside the 5-yard line. It was second down, and the play out of the huddle was a play call that any football fan will know. Sprint right option, a staple of the Bill Walsh offense made famous by the catch from Joe Montana to Dwight Clark. At the snap, Detmer sprints to the right with Irving Fryer running a quick out and Christy Jones running what appeared to be a corner route before sticking his foot into the ground and running back towards the sideline. The defender over Jones sees the initial step inside and tries to jump the corner route. Detmer sees that, and running to his right, he hits Jones for a touchdown to put the Eagles within striking distance before they come back to win the game 21-20.
Mike, I remember this was the first year that the Eagles had gone to the midnight green uniforms. It was the early in the Jeffrey Lurie era, and it was our old friend Ray Rhodes' Eagles.
Well, and Ray had this nasty streak about him, and you always looked at the Ray defenses, but we're taking a look at an offensive play here. Ty Detmer and John Gruden as the offensive coordinator, he added a lot, I thought, to that team and that offense.
Nice call by John Gruden. Great call.
The thing I remember about John Gruden is he was your classic workaholic. He used to drive the film guys nuts because he had them at all hours, feeding him film. He wanted to see every single vantage point, and he was the master chemist in that lab, mixing up things to confuse defenses.
Well, Gruden, as a very young offensive coordinator, seemed to really grab a hold of the offense, and I would see him at times getting into spats with guys at almost his same age, but he really took a handle of that offense, and they were successful because of the knowledge and the intelligence that John Gruden brought to the table.
Like, didn't you feel even then that this was a guy who was inevitably a head coach? That there was no way John Gruden wouldn't be a head coach, same way we felt about John Harbaugh and earlier maybe even Jeff Fisher.
It was hard to look in the crystal ball and see that and see how good of a coach he was going to be, but you could tell that he really had something special.